18th, 2023 work session.
All right, to make a motion to approve September 18th, 2023 work session meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you so much. To our city clerk, Miss Ashley, do we have any public comments tonight?
No, ma'am.
Oh,
All right.
I have a question, Mayor. Because our attorney is here in person, do I need to make a recommendation to move the agenda around for him to leave? Okay, I've just thought about it. Okay.
Okay. All right. We're going to proceed with the consent agenda. And Ms. Ashley, remind me how we're supposed to do this so I won't mess up anything.
Usually if there's a number of items that's routinely approved, like minutes, I'll place them on consent agenda, but this week we don't have any.
Yeah, we don't have any, Mayor.
You don't have any? Okay. All right. What about public hearings? I see that on the agenda. Is there any need for public hearing?
Not this week.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Moving forward to old business. Do we have any old business at all? I don't see any. Nothing but council meeting, which is a small print, but I'm not sure.
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. New business. This is for decision tonight, council. The first up will be the street brunch. Is Miss Renee Miller, is she available?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can come forward.
How's everyone this evening?
Good.
Good. Time will be short. Wanted to, you all have a copy of the information here, packet, okay. One of the things that I've had an opportunity to look at during the course and time that I've worked with the city of Lithonia and surrounding areas is that if you all will notice, here on the east side of the city, we have very few Sunday-related brunch activities. And the reason that I bring up brunch is that Atlanta is a brunch city. Many of you all may not know, I host a brunch in the city every Sunday. And while I'm there, people are always asking, bring something to the east side, bring something to the east side. But we also don't necessarily have the space with respect to it. So one of the things that I wanted to have us consider for 2024 is to look at an opportunity where we can see if we can have a brunch to grow within Lithonia, the city proper, that is. And in looking at an opportunity where we are looking at an outdoor brunch experience between Johnson and Swift, I want to make sure I got the streets right, because we would want to basically look at a Sunday experience where there's limited interruption to the city because most of the businesses on Main Street on Sundays are not open. So that would give us an opportunity to perhaps have a brunch experience in the street per se, where we are looking at not only the idea of the brunch experience, but also an experience for the city. And when I say an experience for the city, one of the things that we would want to do is to ensure that there's some sort of welcome tent from the city with respect to the small businesses that are in the city, even if it's just lanyards, cards, just different things, because at the end of the day, yes, it's a brunch. Yes, it is to bring people out, but the bringing of the people out is more so for more exposure with different activities for us to have or host in the city. So with that being said, of course, from a business standpoint, we would ensure that we follow the logistics of the city as it related to shutting the street down, having the appropriate police in place, as well as getting the appropriate signage so that we can properly detour with respect to the street. Have a dedicated time which would not exceed 4 hours on the basis of the actual brunch timing. Do our due diligence with the rental as it related to tables, chairs, advertising, but also looking at opportunities to get other businesses involved for us to be able to have a greater appreciation of the experience, because what we want is for the experience to grow. My proposal right now is to look at the third Sunday of every month between April and October. Okay, so it would be one Sunday out of the month, and then have an opportunity to review it to say, okay, this is working well. We want to consider some other Sundays, or we may need to cut back, whatever is going to work best for the city. Because at the end of the day, I'm relatively confident that if we advertise it correctly, people are going to come, because it's something to do, it's something new and different for this particular area, and it gives people an opportunity to come together, to fellowship, and we can also incorporate restaurants that are in place on Main Street if they're interested with respect to being part of the food offerings. Okay. That's a quick overview with respect to it. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer those. While today I know that I was coming as it related to a decision, I understand it may be something that you all may need to discuss before a decision is made, but I wanted to provide as much information for you as I could, so that should you need to have a discussion, you have information there in front of you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it says on your first page, proposing to host an outdoor brunch.
Mhm.
So where exactly are you thinking again? You said what street?
Right here, Main Street.
Main Street?
Mhm.
Like the corridor between the old city hall and the
We would close the street here because people would have to have a place to enter. This is Johnson Street, correct?
Mhm.
So we would have start the street closure there at Johnson,
Mhm.
just to right before the railroad track at Swift.
okay. So you actually want to place tables on the street?
In the street, it
In the
is.
street.
Mhm,
Okay,
in
gotcha.
the actual street. Mhm.
Okay. And I may have missed this part, but because I know you said you're going to get businesses involved. So are you providing food, or is the businesses providing food for purchase?
No, it will be for purchase. We will set it up for a brunch experience. So say, for example, you and a guest, you were coming, you would be provided with a beverage display for your mimosas, be it mocktail and or not, whichever you preferred. You would go to your seat, and it would be our responsibility to offer you all 5 to 6 food items. We would ensure that those food items met different dietary standards on the basis of vegetarian, vegan, and or meat eaters. Okay. That gives us an opportunity to, one, see how well, because we will have to tweak it as we're going. We want to start with hearty tapas. So it's more so about the experience. In the courtyard area that you have right there at your old city hall, we would like to have live entertainment there, a band. So that I think I put here that one of the things that we would want to consider is an opportunity to perhaps use electricity from old city hall, so that we can, because the band has to have some way of being able to generate the speakers. And a generator is just a little loud. Okay. And then for the city to identify if there's whatever the cost is associated with utilization of that, then of course that would be a cost that we would bear. When I'm talking about getting the cities involved, getting small businesses involved, it's more so about the exposure of the event. Because the more people that you have to talk about the positiveness of the event, it's just like when events happen at the amphitheater. When we do great events at the amphitheater, we hear about it because they're like, oh, when is the next one? When is the next one? The event that we did in September at the amphitheater, I got home at 3 a.m. and at 7 a.m. my phone was going, bzz, bzz. I was like, oh my God, did somebody leave something? But it was people sending messages saying, oh my God, wait, when is the next one? 2024. Okay. We're this, that's it for the season, but it's good for them to have that opportunity. The one thing about the amphitheater and doing outdoor concerts is that it takes a lot in order to do those productions. This is a secondary production that will give us an opportunity to still bring people together
during the off season of the amphitheater.
Yeah, and just kind of make it work a little better.
Okay.
But they're still doing the same season. April to October is our season.
Oh, it is.
But it gives us an opportunity to offer them something differently during the course and time that we may not be doing concerts. Sometimes it gets really hot, and I just may say, that's not the best time for that.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm looking over the logistics.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like as far as expenditures are concerned, ensure law enforcement. So is that something you're requesting of the city?
No, I'm not requesting the city to cover any expenses. I would like to take the time between now and April to try to work to generate sponsors. What I'm requesting from the city at this point in time is buy-in. I'm not coming to ask for monetary support.
Okay, and so the provided welcome to Lithonia with verbiage, is that something you're talking about on the sign that we already have out here?
No, the welcome to Lithonia with verbiage about the city is that I would like to see if we could have a tent. If I recall correctly, you all have a nice tablecloth that says the city of Lithonia.
Mhm.
So as people are coming into the brunch, it's
Mhm.
welcomed by Lithonia, and they can see
Gotcha.
the different businesses and avenues that are here in the city.
Gotcha. What was one other question? Oh, so you said there'll be some type of trial. So how, I guess right away you can see if it's going to be satisfactory or so how long would it take for like
For us to know,
yeah.
well, they say Rome wasn't built in a day. So the trial may be the first term. And then after 2024, we
Mhm.
may come back, or even during that course in time, and say, okay, we need to drop back and punt, or we see that these things are going well, or we're having an overwhelming response to X, Y, and Z. We may need to do something differently with respect to the time. Whereas I may say, let's do brunch 12 to 4. If we have an overwhelming response, it may say we may need to do brunch from 12 to 6. So we just tweaking it in that way. I think once people are able to see that it's something that's happening, they will come, and I would just want us collectively to share it amongst the people that we come in contact with, as well as those who live in other perimeters that are close to us. Because if you think about brunch on the east side of the city, I don't know of a festive brunch experience that we have on this side. And if there's someone who knows something differently, please correct me. But I don't know of one.
So this will be once a month, every third Sunday.
Every third Sunday. And we may have to adjust, but that's what I'm thinking, every third Sunday.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I got a question.
Yes.
This is a paid prevent.
It is.
So, are you,
Because I got to pay you all.
that's what I'm gonna say. So you asking us about anything about the waivers on all the permitting fees?
Well, I spoke with Chief with respect to what it would cost to for the street closure. I'm not asking for any waivers. If you all want to give waivers, that's fine. But I'm not coming to ask for waivers. I'm coming for permission for the event. And if there is a cost that comes up that I'm not expecting, then I may come and ask at that point in time. But at this point, I'm not asking for a waiver. I'm just asking for permission.
I don't have a question.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have more of a statement.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a great idea.
Yes, ma'am.
Here recently, I had the privilege of participating in something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And one of your points that you made is the city that I went to that I participated in, it gave me an opportunity once brunch was done
Mm-hmm.
to walk that strip and see
Mhm.
what businesses they have.
Mm-hmm.
I found an oil shop that I continuously go to.
Mm-hmm.
Found a bakery that I continuously go to. So it is very, very revenue generating for our businesses in the
Mhm.
strip. So I think this is a wonderful idea.
Okay, well, thank you. I think, now it looks, because I'm very much in the planning stages, But what I would like to see is exactly what Councilwoman Shepherd said, is that I would like, it's not necessarily about the event itself. Of course, I want the event to be successful because it's Enigma Business Group. But I look at the longevity of what it's going to offer for the city. So if that means that someone's going to have a second look at Green Love, or a second look at Black Dot, or a second look at whatever is on the street, a second look at the ice cream shop, then those are opportunities that we may not have had when people have not been here at Lithonia. And it's the same thing in working at the amphitheater. A number of people will say, I didn't even know this place existed. It's just another opportunity for us to generate more positive foot traffic. It's a daytime event, so we don't have, we know we're working and operating in those daytime hours. And when the event is done, we ensure that everything is clean. The street is back as it was prior to us being there, and we go about the normal business day. Yes, ma'am.
I guess the conversation will be with the businesses to be open on Sunday, because most of the businesses are closed on Sunday.
And that would be their option. Probably initially, we may not want them all open on Sunday.
Okay, yeah, for the
We
trucks.
want them to see, because we want them to come back. Now, with some of the business owners, like with Green Love, I may say, would you like to provide a food option? And that gives them an opportunity to sample what Green Love has to offer. And although they may not be open that Sunday, we're encouraging them to come back.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anything else for me? All right. I appreciate you all as always. Thank you.
I'm ready to motion for that approval.
Okay. To sit there.
Oh, you want to? Go ahead.
Yeah. I motion to approve the Music and Mimosa on Main for every third Sunday starting April 2024.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, I said it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Miller, for everything that you've done and is doing for the city of Lithonia. Thank you.
And I thank you all.
Thank you.
so much. Mhm.
All right, we're up next. Letter of intent, our box technology. Council, whenever you're ready.
I'm gonna speak first real quick on Box. We had a meeting, I know they presented in front of you all, last council meeting in reference to 2515 Park Drive. We then had a meeting, I believe, a few days after that, just to clarify some things. The mayor was involved, Mr. Devon was involved. I know when they came to us, it was more like, what, the city give the property, give money, this and that. And we're not even sure if it's even feasible. So I think we came up with the solution that if the city could provide a letter of intent for them to do a due diligence to even see if it's feasible to even do something like that over there before the city tries to put forth any money, time, effort, or anything into, like we always do, people, we've been down this road before where somebody comes, they build, we're not even sure if it's feasible or the ordinance can't be done there, whatever. So the contract is just a letter of intent for them to go upon the property, do their study, do all their engineering, everything to see if it would be feasible at that property before we try to move forward with either looking at any monetary donation from the city, any type of anything. So that's what this is for. If you have any questions, sure he'd be willing to answer them. But I just want you guys to know that that's what that's from. We had a meeting to clarify all that before we start shelling out money or being asked for money.
So we include an attorney in this.
This one,
letter
we
of
just
intent?
got that, I just got this one today. So
Oh,
it expires on November 30th, 2023. So,
yeah. So our attorneys wrote, this is what you're saying, right?
they'll get this to review this, but we need to make sure this is something council wants to at least allow them to, do their thing with the property so we can know if this is gonna work or not.
I'm sorry, so you asking, before we even look at this agreement to how do you, well, how are you stating to move forward?
So if council would allow them to do a due diligence period to go upon the property to do their engineering, they have to figure out if water and sewer can be used there, if the capacity's there, all that. So I think last time, what was it, 150 or 90,000, 155,000 for infrastructure improvements was asked. Well, we can kind of figure out if that's even feasible, if they can do their due diligence beforehand, rather than us saying, oh yeah, cool, we'll help out.
That's right.
And we don't even know if that can be done. So this is just a agreement to allow them to go upon the property to do their engineering, to do all that. It doesn't give them any rights to own the property, none of that. It's just so that way they can get their people involved to make sure that they can even put five units there.
And any costs associated with that due diligence will be on Mr. Dilworth.
Mhm.
Okay.
It all falls on them. So it's just something to protect the city and to do something rather than the city shelling out money, doing studies and all that, which we've seen and we've done before.
So it's good to have a date on it.
Mhm. Now, on the second page, it says the grantee, which is Ball, will be able to extend the expiration date for due diligence 30 days. I mean, I guess that really doesn't affect anything, but
I guess once it's approved, we'll have a date on the first page.
Yes, it'll be.
It'll have a date and then it'll be 30 days from that.
Correct.
Okay.
I know it's something different we haven't done, but it's just, I'm trying to get us from having to spend money.
And from knowing that is the way we used to do it, that was with this.
So if it is, and the idea and what we talked about, if it is feasible and they come back, then they can come back, present in front of council, let them know what they found out. How everything would work, where the benefit to the city would come, the benefit to them, then we could work out all the nitty gritty then, rather than constantly go back and forth.
I think that's a smart decision.
Make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to approve the letter of intent for Box Technology.
All right, is there a second?
The right of entry.
That's
Before you say that.
For due diligence activities for the property at 2515 Park Drive. Lithonia 30053.
Second,
Thank you. Is there a second?
second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
He didn't get to say anything. Did you want to say something to us? Oh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Throw his pitch.
Yeah, he did. He spoke a lot last time.
All right, we have up next blight question and answer. Councilmember Inman and the city attorney.
Hello.
Hey, good evening.
Yeah.
My name is Scott Hasty. I'm an attorney with Denmark Ashby, and I'm here to help answer any questions you all may have with the blight ordinance. I'm here because Ms. Thompson was unavailable today, so hopefully I can help out.
Yeah. Ms. Dunn isn't here, but I asked her to, review everything. So that way, because she's, on our, what do you call it? DDA
History, yeah.
and
Historic.
historic preservation, right? So, she had some interest in how we're going to go about the blight ordinance. I don't know, have they seen this, Ashley? The FAQ? The rest, everybody? No?
Council,
So council hasn't seen the FAQ?
I have never seen
Oh, you've never seen it? Wait, I thought it was you too. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Well,
Go for it.
yeah, let's go for it. So basically, this is just a nice little clear. I don't know if you guys remember when I was asking a while back, like, can we simplify and condense everything on this long, boring black and white paper, right? So they did a good job, the Denmark team, putting together some questions, and I can pass it around if you guys want to see it. I just personally have a few things that I just want to see within reason, legally speaking, what we can do. And of course, you're our guy as to is it legal, is it not, right? So the first thing, huh?
Can we get a copy? Is it
Did
thick?
you want to make copies of this?
Okay.
Okay. I just pass it along.
Thank you.
So on page, I wrote a few notes for the blight ordinance. On page 12, I understand that there's a standard that we can't go over. Well, it says not less than $100 a day. So I guess that means not over $100 a day for derelict property. So I know that we have to kind of keep that there. But there was no wiggle room whatsoever as far as fees or anything creative that we can do outside of that. That's one of the questions that I had.
All right, so that's in regard to just a violation of this code section, or at least chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Mhm.
I don't believe 100 is a maximum. The maximum would be established by the charter, probably also be in the code, which is maybe $1,000. I'm not entirely
Per
sure.
day.
Could be up to that. So it's just saying the minimum, not less than 100.
Right.
Otherwise, it's possible the prosecutor could ask for higher fine than that.
And I understand our charter is very old. So like, what would that process? I know you probably have to go back and maybe look at some things, but what would that look like for us as a city? Like if we wanted to add in that language, which is basically amending our charter. I don't know how that works.
You could add in language to this code section if you wanted to cap the maximum amount. Is that
Okay.
what you're looking to do?
Yes.
You'd probably just do it in the code section then.
Cool.
The code section.
Yeah. I mean, if
And
you-
that kind of confuses me too, because we're using the Cap County code. So I don't know if that means that we can just add to it, right? As a city, because it kind of trumps that. So I guess that would be an issue.
You could set the maximum fine within your code, whether it be in this specific provision of this ordinance or it be in some other general provision of the code that provides for criminal penalties.
Okay. I would love to do that. Right, guys? Like,
Mhm.
I think there's a consensus to go as high as we can.
So you're saying that we're gonna change the fine
Yes.
to daily,
Um,
$100?
mhm.
What is it, $1,000 per day?
Right now, it's $100 a day.
I thought he said 100 with the max being 1,000.
It could go up to $1,000 per day.
Right, per day. So that's what we're requesting to change it, because right now it's 100. per day.
Uh-huh,
Because-
per day.
I thought he was saying a cap at 1,000. And if you cap it at 1,000, you can't charge $100 per day.
Wait, am I listening wrong?
No, I'm not sure what the maximum amount of a fine the city can charge is. Oftentimes the city says $1,000. This provision talks about setting, it says a violation of this article shall basically impose a fine of not less than $100 per day.
Now less than.
Our code enforcement.
So, or it's not less than $100, but each day of an offense is a continuing violation. So you can charge them for each day, but it was as a separate violation. All it's saying is the
A separate violation.
minimum fine is 100. It does not talk about a max or set it. So
Okay, that's why I was confused.
Mhm.
But go ahead, you had a question? This is our code enforcement officer.
Typically, with that per day, it's $1,000 maximum from what I've done. Per day is a maximum that I've
Thank you.
charged.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and there's, from my understanding, there's no cap on, until they basically get it cleaned up, it's gonna keep rolling. So I'm good with that. But it should say that in our language here, so there's never a gray area, because,
It's also on the, not about warning Sunday,
mhm.
it's on that form, the maximum fine. is
Right.
$1,000.
I just wanted to reflect on our blight ordinance, because it doesn't say it.
For clarification, was that one of the reasons we were kind of at a standstill because we were told that we could not? So what was that about? Because now we're doing it. So
I'm still confused.
I don't understand. We couldn't do it and now we're doing
I
it.
did.
So how did that happen?
So this is the confusion. Young Tay is one of the Denmark attorneys. He was saying that based on the state, there's a standard that you can't go over. You can be more restrictive as a city, saying like, let's say $100 was the cap. Well, the city can do 100 or they can do less than 100. But this says not less than, so that means that you have more room to go above 100. And he just said that we can do 1,000. So it's kind of like two different things, and that's why I was trying to get clarity on. So we can do 1,000. I just want to make sure that we can amend this current ordinance that we have, because on page 12 it says at the bottom, line 410, fine shall be fined not less than $100 each day of the continued violation. After citation, shall constitute a separate offense. So it just needs to be like, clearly put in there. And I think that would help even with our backing what code enforcement is already doing,
Do you want language in there that states that the maximum is 1,000 or up to 1,000?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I think it would be really clear if we did that
Per what?
Per day,
per day.
Per day, per day.
So then
Per
for,
per day per citation?
Yeah, because it does say a
Oh,
separate
wow.
offense. Yeah,
so there's no maximum then for the month.
no.
And it's
It
per
is a
citation.
maximum for the month, if you charge them per day, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's
only
gonna
30
come out
days in
my
a month.
money.
And this is if they continue to leave the property vacant and,
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
yeah.
Can we break down real quick derelict, if you don't mind?
'Cause we
Tell
have
me your name again. I'm sorry,
Scott Hasty.
Mr. Hasty. Can you tell us that, please? Because I just want to be clear. Derelict. Because we've broken down this ordinance in 3 different ways. Chapter 1 is derelict. Chapter 2 is blight, and Chapter 3 is a vacant or foreclosed property.
So a derelict property is going to be a property that typically violates a code. Often it's a building code, it could be International Property Maintenance Code, life safety codes. It could be a more specific provision of the city's code. And as a result, the building or structure is not habitable, or it's poses a danger to public health and safety. So if it's a derelict property under this ordinance, one, you could cite, the owner of the property for that condition or violation. It also allows you to go and file an abatement in municipal court. So it's basically a nuisance abatement ordinance.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Okay.
So if you have a property that's remains non-compliant, say for example, you don't have to cite them and go to court for it. Let's say citing them has not yielded any results. You can file an abatement action in municipal court that basically states the violation, what code section is being violated, what the actual conditions on the property are that are violating that, why it's a violation, and then ask the court to enter an order against the owner to basically remedy that violation. And if they don't, the city can come in and do it themselves.
When we say derelict, that can be applied, because it wasn't clear, I think, when I read this a while back in detail, but that there's a difference between commercial, there's not a difference between commercial and residential when it applies to Chapter 1. It just seems like everything is kind of consumed in that, right?
There's not really no, there's not a difference. I mean, we talk about a property being habitable, you're talking about a residential structure. We're talking about, otherwise, if it's violating a code section, you'd see that's some sort of endangerment to public health and safety. It's got to be a violation that poses some sort of risk to public health, which many do. I mean, many have it's the whole purpose of them.
Okay.
The other one was vacant. You said it was 3, the
Yeah, the
dialect.
first chapter
Mhm.
is derelict, which is also, like you said, abandoned a nuisance or abatement property. Chapter 2 is blight property. So that's more so, that also involves residential and commercial,
And
know.
blight meaning just vacant for a period of time?
basically, right? Is that the best way to say it?
So the blight ordinance is a little bit more complex. You have to find 2 conditions exist on property. And those conditions could be, let me look at them real quickly, I'm sorry to refresh my memory. There's an uninhabitable or unsafe abandoned structure. Maybe a structure that has inadequate provisions for ventilation, light, air, sanitation. That's usually going to be some sort of a mold type issue on the property. It could be like a Superfund site where it violates EPA. The more common ones are the first, where it's an uninhabitable, unsafe, or abandoned structure. And then if you look under that, it's paragraph E and F, there's repeated activity on the property of which the owner knew or should have known. or there's maintenance on the property that's below state or county municipal codes for at least 1 year, and it remains that way for at least 1 year. So you're looking again at properties that have some sort of condition on them. It's not being repaired. Blight ordinance is very specific where you got to find 2 of those types of conditions. And they, of course, again, have to be something that's an endangerment to public health and safety, or they cause crime, cause an increase of crime in the immediate proximity of that property. So basically on blight, you got to find those conditions. They got 2 of those conditions, and then you also have to find that the property, because of those conditions, is conducive of ill health to surrounding properties and surrounding area, or it causes crime in the surrounding area. If you do, the way it works is that the city manager would, this is generally the way it works, city manager would ask the code enforcement or building inspector to look at the property and see if it meets any of these conditions. If it does, or they prepare a report, inspection report that gets submitted to the city manager. If the city manager finds that it does meet those conditions, then the city manager can designate the property a blighted property. Doesn't require you go to court or anything else. However, the property owner can appeal that decision to municipal court. They do so within 30 days of getting notice of that designation. And that ordinance is the ordinance that if it's designated a blighted property, then their millage rate increases by a factor of 7.
I have questions on that too.
And what was the third, what was the third one? We got the blight, the derelict, and what was number 3? You said it was 3 conditions?
It's the
It's in
vacant
here
foreclosed
too.
property.
It's on this.
Property
Is it on what we have?
So I have a question too, on those
Wait a
type.
minute, he didn't answer that one. Let's ask the question. She looking.
Oh.
It was number 3, right? It was,
Huh?
it was the derelict, the blight, and what, one?
The last one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last one is, hold on, vacant and foreclosed.
And what does vacant consist of?
It's a property, it's not been, it's been uninhabitable for 60 days. So it's a property that's been built or constructed, but no one's occupied it for over a period of 60 days. Or it's been foreclosed on, would be the other criteria.
60 days vacant?
60 days vacant, and it requires that you submit that information to the city so that it can be maintained in the city's registry. So the city maintains a registry of vacant and foreclosed properties.
Okay, thank you. Thank
You
you.
finished? All right, I'm just messing
Stop
with you.
playing.
I guess my question was, and it may be something that you already answered, to remedy some of these problems that the owners may say, well, my property's vacant, but I'm going to put the structure and enclose it in, so it doesn't become a nuisance to the community. And that's what I'm concerned if it's not in there already. So my property's abandoned, I'm going to seal it off so it won't be, a nuisance to the community. And then we have a building just sealed off sitting on Main Street.
But you still have a vacant,
So
number 3.
vacant,
It's still,
vacant or
it
taken.
falls in one of those categories.
All right.
So
Whether they
visually,
fill it, whether they put a fence around it or whatever, they still falling vacant.
so visually, it's like one feeds off of another. So chapter 1 is derelict, right? Which is like, it's a nuisance. It's people are going to probably be drawn to it because they see that it's not really being maintained. So a lot of illegal
Could have some
activity
drug
happens.
activity or
Exactly.
prostitution or something.
Chapter
Even in the
2
home.
is more so like, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a visual person, so I'm trying to explain it visually. But chapter 2 is like a deeper level than chapter 1, where it's like, okay, these are the conditions, and now it's considered blight, and now we can go after their property taxes. Chapter 3 is vacant and foreclosed, which is like, that's kind of generally speaking. But for either cases, we can still, do something within the city's reason and try to figure out how to, get them to pay or get a business to move in. And that's kind of our goal.
Right,
quote,
but it
unquote.
seems like it's just the reverse. Seems like number 1 is the worst.
I mean, I don't know if there's like,
Because you have activity and people living in there and we,
mm.
and
But
just,
I don't want to get off track because I know that I'll probably.
they bad. They all
It's
bad.
already bad.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. We don't have to
Um,
go any further with it.
We have to just vote on this?
So, a question. So page 9, this is line 301. I want to know if we can change that. It says that the limitation, which requires 12 months of delinquency before we can actually tax them or do anything to them. And I want to know if that can be shortened, because 12 months, that's a whole year that it could just, time is rolling by. We can't do anything in our city's power. Like, so is that amendable at all?
Sorry, I'm reviewing that section again real quickly. I apologize.
No, you're good.
That section's stating, there's a general statute that requires a tax commissioner to wait 12 months before they can foreclose on.
Oh, like the
Delinquency.
standard.
This is saying that that standard's waived here. You don't have to wait 12 months to foreclose on it.
Wait. It's saying we don't have to wait 12 months?
Yes. Yes, ma'am, that's correct. So here, if you.
But I'm confused. Because we're in DeKalb County, so I know that they handle foreclosures and I know redemption, but I just thought for some reason as a city, so you're saying we still have to abide by that, or you're saying we don't have, like, because that's the standard?
This language, the derelict property ordinance, a lot of this language is straight from a state statute. It's under Title 41. And that basically gives local jurisdictions this mechanism to use to make properties. With it has specific requirements. Some of that has to do with the notice provisions that are in here. It also provides for the lien that's in here. What this is saying is, if you say the city went in and they abated a nuisance, they spent money to fix the problem on the property, they could then, that they had a lien in that amount against the property. Once you get an order, I'll step back. I'm sorry, I keep on bouncing out of steps here, but if you got an order from the court that said, property owner A, you've got to fix this problem and do it within the next 90 days. If you don't do it, then the city can come in and abate it. Once the city gets that order, they can file that in DeKalb County records, and that is a lien against the property.
Okay.
If the city ends up going in there and abating it, spending money to fix the problem, they then submit that total amount they've spent to fix the problem. It also includes any sort of fees they had through the municipal court process. And they give that amount to the tax commissioner because that's the amount of their lien. What this is saying, that once you've filed the lien against the property, the tax commissioner does not have to wait 12 months to foreclose on it.
See, that's the part I'm confused about, because typically that's redemption period. So you can't technically touch it, but because we're a city, we can. Is that what you're saying? Like, because if I were an investor, and you know how you can go buy property or tax form a property and wait, you have to wait that 12 months and then you get the interest added to whatever, the lien is, but you cannot access the home. You can't modify the home, nothing. So that's why I was just trying to understand, because
yeah, I think the redemption period may still apply. They're two different things. There's if someone's owed, $500 to city taxes, the city can file or the county can file on behalf of the city a fee against the property saying, $500 of taxes for tax year 2023. The city can't foreclose. They can't force a sale of that property until that has been delinquent for 12 months. So that it means the city can't go in, say, you owe $500, and a month later
right, we
foreclose on it.
can't get it. Yeah.
I believe the right of redemption, there's no variation of the right of redemption under this statute. I think the only thing being modified by that section is just that the city doesn't have to wait 12 months before it enforces that lien.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, just for clarity. So I understand, as a city, we have all this other language in here about how we can go in, fix something, and then add it as a lien. So if it comes down to it that this person is delinquent on their taxes, how do I put this in words? Do we still have the right to make it appealing on the outside without it, affecting the DeKalb County rule for the redemption period. Does that make sense? Like, because it's just kind of unfair to us as a city, and I'm just trying to be creative of how we can get some of these homes and businesses to look better without having to wait so long, you know?
You would need the order from the judge, from the court, sorry, the order from municipal court that states what they have to do to abate the property.
Mhm.
You'd want that to include whatever, repairs you'd want made to the property ultimately. If it's ultimately made by the city, then you'd want that in the order. If that's in the order, then the city has the authority to go do it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
But then again, it's got to go towards whatever that violation is. So it's got to be related to it.
Okay. I wish we had a higher person that was like,
Go ahead.
but go ahead.
Going back to the first page of the blight ordinance, common question. Number 4 is what makes my property a public nuisance. But going back to 4 and 5, basically they're the same thing, and I don't think we need 4 and 5.
Well, they kind of different though. You
Okay,
can be having illegal activity without it being drug activity.
that's true,
So they are kind of different.
but they're both illegal.
True.
you know. And also too, what if a person has a piece of property that they are maintaining and no one is living there?
You can't do anything if they're maintaining it. If they have, yeah, you can't do anything.
Because it wouldn't be a
nuisance.
It
or a
does,
nuisance,
yeah. Right.
It would just have to be registered if it's like from my understanding with reading this, as long as the property is vacant but maintained, it still has to be registered with the city clerk.
Right.
And that's all that matters. As long as they keep that up, they're not going to have an issue with us.
But they do need some work on it. It's not major.
Nobody would know that unless they go inside.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, as long as they're outside, I think that you should be good.
So I have a question. Because we've been visiting this for a few months. And we have not got any resolve on anything. And I feel like we keep hearing the same information or not getting whatever it is we need to get. So my question is, would this be more like a one-on-one thing for you? Would you feel like you would get your answers if it was a one-on-one thing?
No. Mm-mm.
So specifically, what is it?
Well, that's why he's here. Not to be rude, but that's why he's here. You know, like the thing is, guys, so when I first looked at this was back in January or a little bit before January of this year, right? And there's 29 pages of the blight ordinance. If you're not a lawyer, and I don't know if any of you guys have read it from the first page to the last page, but there's a lot of language in here. If you're not going through and breaking this down to understand it so that way it can be helpful and applicable, that's the big thing, the issue here. If it's not applicable and we're not actually doing our part, it's not effective. It's like, why do we keep creating ordinances, signing them off, and they're just sitting in the dust on a shelf, okay? That's the issue.
Well, that's the same thing about the fees, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Changing.
So
Wait,
my,
wait, wait.
yeah.
Same
My question
principle.
is, the reason why I say the one-on-one thing is, I guess my question is, he's here. What specifically is not being understood so we can hone on it so we can so we can move forward and not keep revisiting.
Right.
Like,
Things are changing though as
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
revisiting.
that's
So
what-
I
I know,
think
we
we're trying
never
to
get it.
twerk
That's
it
what we're
where
doing.
it can.
I think it's just
Well,
gonna keep
But
changing.
just
so
it changed just now.
It's gonna keep changing.
And to your point, you're absolutely right, but it's gonna keep changing. So is it that we need to get together and the
No.
ordinances, like, what are our bullets right now? Like, where are we? We keep
Did we vote
But
on this
I
already?
think
Did
we
we
just
vote on this?
contradicted ourselves, and I might have agreed to that because we just said that if the property is kept up and the outside looks good, then you should be okay. That's not really true because we still have the blight. We still have empty property on Main Street, and it could be kept up, but it's still unoccupied. So we still have that blight. So we need to change that. So what really constitutes blight? Also, we said vacant for 60 days. So if it's vacant for 60 days, then in all fairness to that person, are we actually trying to get it rented? we should have a criteria as to how you're moving forward to get that property occupied. Are you just holding it and not trying to do anything? Are you putting out signs to try to rent it? Are you advertising to have it rented or to sell it? You have to be actively doing something to.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, but in actuality, can you make a person rent their property?
Well, that's why we.
No, if it's just a vacant property and that it doesn't have a tenant, that's not necessarily
A blight?
a law. So it's where it's a vacant property that, as a result, it's
Falling down.
it's a danger to the community, or maybe it attracts crime. Maybe it's a haven for prostitution, and as a result, more crime is in that area and the surrounding area.
So if a person is maintaining the physical aspect of their property, they're paying their property tax, they're doing everything they're supposed to do, they just don't have a tenant, or they're just not occupying it. It gets sticky because.
So then we still have this thing on Main Street all of this doesn't help us. Because
I think that's two different things, because it's the same, has the same principle, but on Main Street, these are businesses.
so yeah, that's where we draw the line. That's where it has to be a
They are-
difference.
They are businesses, and the city was under the impression that when they got these, they got these buildings, that's what they will be using them for, a business, and not just leaving them empty.
So then it'll be a difference between residential and the business. So we have to have something that's directly related to Main Street,
Commercial
property,
mhm.
rather than business. I mean, I don't know. See, that's another thing why we're going back and forth, because when we look at it, it looks like, okay, we say if you have it vacant, but you're keeping it up, it's okay. But they keep it. Well,
No,
we
but it's.
we just said
Okay,
that.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm making the most use of time. Like I say, the whole reason of him being here is because we haven't been working on this. We just haven't. I have been the one communicating with the attorneys. As you guys can see, you didn't even get this. So that goes to show, like, we have not as a whole been working on it. And I, as one person, I'm not going to be the one spearheading and working on it by myself, because it takes counsel, all of counsel. And it should not matter how long we're looking at something. It should matter about what's being effected, what's happening, what's being applied. And that's the problem I have right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I have just a few more questions. I won't hold you, but this is something that I think, and I know you probably wrote your notes already about the ones I've given you about the fees and stuff like that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this blight ordinance applies to, again, residential and commercial. So it does. It's not that. Oh, okay. Just making sure it's not just,
Commercial.
one. Yeah. And so the biggest issue, I brought this up last time, we don't have a registry right now, right? We still don't have a registry. That's the number one thing that I requested months ago. And so if we just start with that, that's something that could be implemented ASAP. And we can create this list that I'm sure you've already started and get these vacant owners, because we can at least have that money coming in, right? It's still income for the city. But that's just one thing I wanted to mention. And then let's see. The biggest thing that I wanted to ask about, because you mentioned earlier, was the millage rate, the factor. I don't understand that.
I think looking at it, it's gonna be 7 times like 0.00, that not 7 times 10 point, what our millage rate is. It's actually the millage rate for the millage.
So right now our millage is about 10 something, right? And you're saying
So it's actually, did it all this months ago, but it's like our millage rate technically, when you do the math, and you probably know as well, is the millage rate is actually, when you times it by your value of property, 0.0010.
yeah.
So I think it's 7 times that number, not 7 times 10.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we change that? Is that something that could be changed to put some pressure on these folks, since that's the whole point of our conversation? I'm trying to be creative and help us as a city figure out ways to put a fire on these people, you know?
So it makes their city ad valorem taxes 7 times the amount of what they were. So I guess the pressure you're putting on them is they're going to have a big tax bill until they fix the property. Can you make it higher than 7 times? I would have to look at that. I'm not certain.
Okay.
The blight work. I'll try to think of how we title these two different sections. The blighted property ordinance, or the one that imposes the tax, that comes from community redevelopment powers that are under the Constitution. I can't remember if there's a statute that gives some of this stuff or not, but I think if there's a cap, it'd be in there. So I'd have to see if there's a cap on it.
That was my
They're
last
not
question
equal,
for
blah,
you.
Okay.
Community redevelopment, because it says that we have to allocate that money when we get that tax from the county. We have to allocate it to community redevelopment purposes. Can that be changed as well? Because what if we needed to go towards another bill for the city?
I believe that, I'll check on that too, but I believe that is restricted by either the constitutional revision or something else that requires that money to go towards community redevelopment purposes specifically.
Okay. That's all my questions, and I'm so glad you were able to come and talk to us. And I'm done.
I have something that I'm still a little bit confused about, and I just want to make sure that if I need to inform or repeat something, that it's correct. I'm thinking that Councilwoman Inman, you said that the business and the residential were the same. And we also said that basically if you put on the list that your property is vacant, then you should be okay. Is that what you're saying? If your property is kept up and you're on the list that your property is vacant, that you should be?
So
how's that?
And you can clear it up with the language, but as we have to create as a city a registry. So if that property is being maintained by the owner themselves, or if they have a property manager, that person has to come to the city hall, register with the clerk, pay a fee. And I don't know what that fee is again, but they have to pay that vacant registration fee. So we're still making income from it not being lived in.
Whether it's residential or commercial?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
On top of that, that does not mean that it has to be blight. It's just the fact that it's vacant. So I want to make sure you guys understand that part.
So even
Yeah.
if it's on Main Street and it's vacant, we're okay with just collecting the vacant fee?
Yes. And then on top of that, if it's derelict, blight, or whatever, that's a whole situation where we can also go in after liens and other stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's an addition too.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And typically we're talking about an abandoned property, not just a vacant one. When we're talking about a nuisance abatement or a blighted type of property, it's going to be an abandoned property. Or it could be a vacant property, and as a result of being vacant, it basically has crime come to the property. There's crimes committed on it.
So just a vacant property that's being kept up,
Vacant alone kept up is not going to be a violation of either those.
so they don't need to be on the register
No,
either?
they still have to be on the
You
registry.
Still be on the
Yeah.
register? Okay,
The registry is a tool for the city to know what properties are out there that are foreclosed or vacant.
vacant, and so they'll just have the vacant property fee.
So I want to ask you this. So, of course, Councilwoman Inman has done an excellent job, if not only the one doing the job, but everything that we discussed is already in the file. Seem like I know
The
we came with a simpler way,
These are
do
just
it.
questions.
but I think she did a thorough job and it's all in there. So I don't think we should delay any more into. We could always change something later. And let the attorneys, and because of course somebody will come with the attorneys and not gonna stand up there before the judge and be their own attorneys, so they'll be able to decipher the language and get it done. So I'm ready to, when we vote on this, did we vote on it already?
So this is already done.
All right, so
The
that's
only
good.
thing we're trying to change is the fees. That was the fees, which we want to make $1,000 a day for the, you know what I'm trying to say?
Define.
Yeah. And those questions that I mentioned about the factor rates to make it higher than 7 for when we make a charge, that tax money to be allocated outside of community redevelopment, he's going to look into that. And I think those were the biggest things. And also shortening, no, we can't shorten that part. You mentioned that. But that was the biggest thing. So, and then also a registry. So I know it mentions in this order that ordinance that we have to either make our own registry or download the registry form from Department of Community Affairs. So would you suggest that we do that to get it started or create our own to make us more safe so there's no liability?
I think I'd use there's a, like, as it mentions, I think there's a DCA form.
Yeah, Department of
I'd
Community
probably
Affairs.
just- It's either a model or it's, I don't know if it's a statutory form, it's at least a model. I'd probably base whatever we use on that.
Okay.
So I was saying, if we, if that's, pretty much everything, we would just talk to Mr. Johnson and create the code or, chief, and then we just vote on it, right? So do we have to do a public hearing, right? So I would vote to put that in motion for the next work session, maybe get the clean cut bill, and then we vote on it. And
That sounds good. So Mr. Johnson, when we say code, like the code for how things are set up, or how would that be added?
just the proper
Mr.
text. Go ahead.
Mr. Johnson.
Okay, I heard
All right.
Mr. Johnson. That's all.
I did.
thinking.
I'm thinking of, so just the
Okay.
ordinance from the attorney,
Okay.
boom, right, the clean cut version with the changes, that modification.
And
But
then
there's
is that
something that
added
has
to
to
the
be
blight
approved,
ordinance,
and
or is
then we
that
just
totally
do it.
separate?
Is it something he's looking into?
I'm not sure what we're talking about, to be honest with you. I'm sorry.
The changes that we're discussing,
Oh,
once you do
that-
your research, where is that change going to happen? Is it amended to the current ordinance that we've already approved? Or is it, like, how does that look?
It would just be an ordinance to amend, yes, the current ordinance.
That would be perfect.
That's the amendment.
So then we can move forward with this one?
Yes.
Okay.
So do we need to put anything in motion for you at all?
No, we'll review these, the additional requested changes and see if those are available or not. If not, then I think we're limited just to changing the maximum fine amount.
Mhm.
To be perfectly candid, I mean, the ordinance could be enforced as is without changing that. That's just kind of something that clarifies, what the max fine is to someone who's actually reading the ordinance.
When you read that, it's just,
We could do that.
Yeah. okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So it's a for decision. C, letter C,
Mhm.
Let us see.
it's nothing? Okay, it's nothing.
All right.
Okay, trunk or treat.
Yep.
Oh, he left.
Chief.
So I'll start with the trunk or treat. I got some questions.
Okay, Mayor?
I know.
Mayor?
Are we down on blight?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And we're gonna move forward to the trunk or treat, Chief.
Yeah, so with trunk or treat, I just wanted to get council approval and opinion on doing it on Tuesday, October 31st.
And then
Kind
it's
of
Halloween.
like we did last year where we shut the street down and we had invited everybody out to do the trunk or treat there. And I think this image is going to do the scares. We're going to do the small little haunted, I don't even call it a haunted house.
It's a
just
haunted
something for the kids to walk in right there at Old City
Mhm.
Hall. So wanted to
What
be
time
kind
is that again?
I think we started at 7 last year or 6. We can start at
6 to 8 or
6.
something?
Yes, 6, we got babies.
6
Yeah.
to 8.
It is a weeknight, so I mean 6 to 8 it'll still be getting dark. You know, the little kids can come in when it's light, and the older kids will be there kind of when it gets dark.
So Mayor, what's the budget there? See, I saw a couple of things we need to know. Mayor,
That's it. That's
what
up to
Mayor
you
said? She
guys.
said buy them. Mayor?
Yes, you've been to 2 different locations and you have not bought anything.
I know. We definitely want to okay the reimbursement portion of it. That's all. I know.
Is
But tell
there,
him he has no
You know
problem
your
sending us some
money is
pictures, right?
good.
All right.
is there a budget? None? Open check?
Yeah, that's right. Well, we run the budget on mine. Okay.
So last year we didn't
Oh, they
do
must
any
be-
decoration. I don't think we really had a budget or anything. We just kind of had candy donated.
took over AI's decorations. But look, we have, I don't know what our budget is like. Don't we have a, what's it called? The,
Holiday
Yeah.
budget.
Yes.
I don't know how much is there.
I know we use some for the October event.
Mm-hmm.
Like we use a lot for
Mm-hmm.
the October.
1,100.
Yeah.
So you probably, I think, have like 400 left.
Yeah, because we didn't budget a lot.
Correct.
Last budget.
I thought it was like 2,000 and then we use some of that. Isn't it like 2,000 every year and we need to up it?
I thought we did.
I
I think we brought it down this budget, this,
Oh,
because we were trying to find money, so I think we brought it down. I'm pretty sure we brought it down.
Maybe
But if
two.
we have any
Okay.
money left over in any other accounts,
Yeah,
like
we should.
training or something, I know we might have maxed out training.
Straight maxed out.
What I would
Maybe
suggest is
two
like,
blow-up things.
I don't know, as the city, since we're technically a nonprofit, like, I think I heard Home Depot was good with cities and giving out stuff. They have those really big inflatable, like you said in that picture.
To donate.
Yeah, maybe to donate, because that can act for itself. Nobody has to man the area or nothing.
Yes, Warren. Warren actually works at Home
It
Depot.
don't hurt
And,
to
and if they
ask.
have a little sign they need us to put right there beside the blow up
Exactly.
for their advertisement.
Yep. And then also just get like I guess Sam's. Especially it's easy to set aside like $200 and get a box of candy and chips and whatever else, Hi.
Hey,
Here he is.
he works at Home Depot. He might be able to ask. He asked Home
Okay.
Depot if they could donate any Halloween decorations.
Okay, that was simple.
Easy peasy.
Oh,
They have
right.
candy too, right?
But they did before.
Specifically, it's 10-foot tall blow-up doll. No, I'm just kidding. Blow-up doll. Not
Yeah.
doll.
A witch or or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
pumpkin or something.
They got a ghost, they got a pumpkin that's dressed like the Grand Reaper, and they have something else.
Yeah.
So it should be
maybe a
fairly
couple,
easy to get it, right?
a couple,
But
three.
you know what? They did have a manager there that the city administrator that did work with Lithonia during special holidays. I don't know if she's still there.
Well, he works there, so
Yeah.
here's something. One more thing. If they have like lights, I don't know what all they sell for the seasonal for October, but I've seen different things. So if they have lights and maybe like a tent, that would be really cool. And we can set that up in the old city hall. And I don't know, were you there last year? Did you see the jail cell? So like whatever you can get from there, that we would be more than grateful. And that way no one has to really man it during those hours and they can just go in and out.
And I'm still
Yeah, what officers
still gotta
would be
get your
there? 'Cause you
sister.
gotta watch.
We'll have a bunch of. We've asked. A bunch
She's
of
just
them.
gonna have to
Yeah.
do it.
Councilwoman Howard said, no, just let them know, we're willing to say that they sponsored,
Okay.
advertise it.
And we have a Home
Absolutely.
Depot Pro account, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we do got a Home Depot.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be safe just to have it unmanned because, we have.
Yeah, we'll have-
that
No,
aspect.
no,
We'll
what I
have
mean by that is, how my sister was in there
Yeah, yeah.
working, literally working.
Did you have a casket or what was that?
Yeah, we made it.
Nice.
That
My
was- it
mom is so
was-
creative. She like designed all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was nice.
If y'all willing to, she could probably, if you get the materials or whatever, maybe she could do it.
Make a casket.
Shamika might have
Maybe
used.
Do she still work at the hospital?
Yeah.
Maybe she could get some of that dry.
We don't want a real casket. It's too
Oh.
scary.
Tuesday, close the street down.
Yes,
We get that approved.
Oh, you need approval?
Yes.
Oh, I would like to make a motion to close the street down for October 31st from what hours?
It'll be from 6 to 8.
And
Just
from
to-
what street to what street?
From
Jo-
Johnson to Swift?
yep.
From Johnson to
Oh.
Swift Street.
Second.
thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Uh,
Oh,
Any opposed?
Mayor, just a
Oh,
quick thing.
mhm.
What company
Okay.
did you use? It was like 2 years ago, I think when you were, no, I don't know if it was an event we had on Main Street and it was really nice
Mhm.
when you got the company, the 360 camera. And it was something
Mhm.
else. But if we have it in our budget, I think that would be really good to have as well.
We had,
Oh, okay.
and Mary, if you can't get in touch with your 360 person, the lady that did our alumni day was very, very reasonable, so we probably could touch base with her.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
That's fine.
Maybe we should Well, no, we just put together like a little semi-committee. Help
We
Chief
are the
out.
committee.
An event committee
You are
for
the
events, either holiday, any holiday?
Yeah, just actually, yeah, anyway,
Yeah, event committee.
just to help out.
Right, that would be good, cause
So,
some
you know,
of the
something I
citizens
can't
did
get
say
to
they
this
would
man,
like
I
to.
can get to it, vice versa.
They would like
Okay,
to
council is the
Putting our
committee,
cars there.
whatever.
Okay, well, we got a motion on the floor, so, no one opposed, right?
Right.
All right, so ayes have it. All right, anything else on trunk or treat?
Nope.
All right, so sounds like we need to get things ordered this week, cause, we're in October, today, October 1st. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, we gotta hurry up and get it moving. All right, that's fine. All right, we're gonna proceed over to the next item. Chief, you ready for Christmas parade?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
it's coming so fast.
Yes. So, we have Yellow Brick House here.
Hi.
So, we want to, this is just a discussion. We want to partner with them again, being that it worked out so well last year.
Hey,
So, last year we planned in 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And it still was pretty decent. This year, I think we're kind of looking at, me and the mayor talked maybe a December 3rd Christmas parade. I know we want to throw that out there as a discussion.
Christmas parade on when?
December 3rd.
Santa come to town.
Santa's coming too early.
that's good.
That's good.
You know, a lot of people, a
Oh,
lot of people
traveling.
going out of
They going
town.
out of town.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can I,
And then the school too, they close early.
that's true. Can I ask for, if you don't vote on the date today, just to find out from the high school bands, because I want to get more bands involved this
Mhm.
year. So if I can look at their calendars real quick and then come back to you guys, I don't know if that's a possibility.
That sounds
Yeah, that
good.
sounds
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, 'cause-
discussion.
Yeah.
Can we get some banners and a?
Yeah, so we're gonna reach out. I'll reach out to some of the banner people. Now I know she's got some good contacts with. It's like how many high schools? Yeah, a lot of high schools. So we'll try to have more dance teams, more high schools involved. We're gonna reach out to a lot more of the businesses, local businesses, not just in the city, just outside the city too, to see if they want to be a part. I know I have a couple of the police departments that already said that they want to be involved. The fire department. We also were talking about what the mayor is to do the parade like we did last year, but to come back and have like a Christmas festival.
Side note.
Good deal.
Things will come dance. I will.
Oh, I'll ask them. Once we'll set a date.
Oh,
Yes.
So
And we
we,
have a space that we can utilize to raise money, that we can do maybe some events at Yellow Brick, that we can utilize to maybe raise some funds for the city. You know, for the event. So maybe we can put our heads together and do some things.
so instead of having it's for discussion, so we could just agree to a consensus for her to move forward with contacting the bands to so that we can set a date.
Yes.
And what time are you thinking? Is it gonna be like whatever date you choose? Will it be a Sunday for sure? And then what time are you thinking?
What do we do?
Was it a Sunday?
We did a Sunday, I think, last year.
It was 12.
It was at 12? Okay.
Yeah,
That was a good time.
Noon.
because it was lunch. Remember the band? We fed.
And then the band came back on the
Yes.
8th.
The parade route is the same, or with the
Oh.
festival at the end would be on Main Street?
But we're gonna have the festival probably end up feeding them
Here.
here, right?
Can I
There'll be a lot more kids.
make the,
Yes. I know y'all get tired of me saying what we used to do.
no,
Well, what we used to do was fun and it worked.
okay.
So we would do the parade and then we would come back to the block's Main Street and it would be a block party. So just.
So that could be a
festival of the parade.
That sounds good.
Same parade route, but you know how when we finish, we come into Wayfield
Yeah,
parking lot? Well, so this time when you finish, you would come to that block party area that's blocked off from Johnson and
One other
Max as well.
thing is typically transportation, the kids come on buses.
Mhm.
So making sure that we have control of our area where the buses will be controlled and just.
Wayfield.
Because you have a lot of,
Like we
Mhm.
think about just putting them here instead of
Maybe.
doing what we did last year, where we had to get them. Yeah.
Another question, tree lighting, does that come in with this
Oh,
parade and
okay,
stuff?
Yeah.
Tree,
We can
I
have,
was
we can
gonna
have a
talk
whole lot of
about
stuff
that in
going.
my mayor's report, because I got some information from the Real Black Santa who reached out to me again today. I want to tell you guys about that.
I had a quick question. When we say festival, what does that really look like? Just,
just blocking the street off, have vendors come out.
That's what I was gonna say.
okay,
Bringing more, I guess, more awareness to the city as well. It's a business like everything else, but having tent set up, but you guys can have to have some type of to be strict, with the tents or where the tents can be, not in front of a business.
Yeah, they can, I mean, they can line up in the parking spots like we do before.
It's
okay.
for me, Mike.
And that's something else. Remember last year we said we wish we had stuff to throw out while we was walking.
Yeah.
So
Candy canes, yeah.
throw somebody with some candy.
You want to tell them something about this?
Councilman Henry had a great
I
idea.
didn't see that.
Yes, she,
Maybe we can kind of partner with Miss Miller, because she does have some great vision. And I know she does want to see us grow and do great things. I'm hoping that she would be into kind of guiding us and helping us through what a festival would look like.
Okay.
I'll reach out to her.
The end of festival.
So she can go forth and contact the schools. Once we have an idea what the school, what'll work best for the schools, then we can come back and
That's
yeah,
exciting.
we agreed on a consensus for you to go move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you. You can come over anytime.
Okay.
Rocking those rocking chairs.
Well, we'll get too comfortable over there.
Mr. Mayor, I'll just wait till my comment section.
Are we gonna have a float?
Is that enough?
Still
But,
do that?
Yeah, I guess we can do it.
oh, you can be on the front.
I am.
That
I'm gonna make you snacks.
You know the back of the
You gonna be
truck, right?
Santa?
Well, I put my a little thing on the back of my truck last time. It was like a little float,
If he
a
was,
little blow up thing.
if he did, was.
All right, Mary, ready?
We ready? Okay.
Yes.
All right, that was just for discussion, right, council? Just making
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, we got everything out.
All righty. We're gonna proceed over to police department report.
I'm gonna get my own podium. Police report, I know we sent you guys a significant event, that occurred Saturday. I'm not gonna go into too much detail with it, but there was, warrants taken out on the suspect identified. We just turned it over to the DeKalb County Fugitive Unit for them to handle. So,
Thank you.
sad situation. Still more involved with it that we're trying to curtail with the kids, because they're all 14 years old. So, also, we ended up arresting an individual that was involved in several burglaries through homes throughout not only Lithonia, but Gwinnett, Walton County, all that here in Lithonia. Yesterday, we had a great training day with Culture City. Ms. Shepherd came out, got to see kind of what that was about. It's pretty powerful, especially when you hear it from them. So we're officially right now the first police department in the state of Georgia to be certified through Culture City to handle and deal with not only children, but individuals that have verbal, nonverbal disabilities, that deal with not being included, sensory issues, not being included. They're shipping us all of our Culture City emergency bags. There'll be one in every patrol car with a sticker on the patrol car saying they're certified. So that way they'll be able to deal with any type of situation that comes up from that.
That's good.
So that's really all I have for the police department.
Thank you.
For correctional officer, yes. Yeah, we posted that on the social media.
I have one request. And I hate to be sound like our Councilwoman Shepherd, but we used to get from the police department like a report that shows the activity and as far as the tickets and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so we'll put something else together. Now I have Major Jones with us. he's handling all that stuff. Actually, another thing, he is working on the application for the quiet zone for the train tracks. He's already been in contact with them. I think they're gonna get with you on filling the actual application. Yeah, there's a process with that application, so they gotta actually get with him to actually fill that out. He's already went out and checked every crossing to make sure we have what we're supposed to have so they can do the quiet zone. So it's still a work in progress on that. So that's gonna take a little while.
Yes.
Being it is the federal bill.
Some of the noise is more extreme than others. Some of them get on and they just lean on the horn. Some will go toot toot and then toot toot, but they have to do it, I guess, at every crossing. But yeah, some.
Yeah,
are
we
extreme.
when the movie crew was filming the other night, somebody just literally like
Just laid on
just
it.
held it the whole
Wow.
time, and I was like, oh, so they couldn't film for like every time that they passed through.
And it's
Um,
damaging to the eardrum.
So we're working on that now. Also, I know there was a mention about the cars. I'm working on the other quotes for the cars. So far, I've got 4 police cars and 1 city council car. So
The trucks, I've noticed that they have picked up more, and I was just wanting to know if they're still working in the city, because I know at one point you said the trucks that are allowed to come through the city, what's the name of those water trucks again? Polaris, they were working in the city, the reason they came through the city. But if they're working in the city, do they have to go back in through the city? They can't go around?
yeah, we
But-
can't force them to go around.
Okay, but are they actually working in the city
Yeah,
though?
but a lot of them are right here on Parkway.
Yes.
They're actually at the school now. Today they
Yes.
were at the school. But they have been enforcing the truck.
Yeah, they have.
The truck got stuck last night, Miss Shepherd. Was it last night?
Yep.
Yeah, it was last night.
One that's not supposed to be in the city.
Well, it didn't get stuck. It couldn't make the turn.
Oh.
So Abdul went right over there real quick, got his autograph. So,
Wow.
so yeah, they're
Yeah.
I think it's
They've been doing-
GPS
Yeah.
or something.
They just go pretty quick when they're
Yeah.
coming through, and I'm wondering, are they really in the city? Because they pick up speed.
Yeah, they're. I saw them today over behind the school. They're actually doing the power that goes from the street to the school.
And you have the kids still walking, and those Polaris trucks are zooming past them, and I thought that was pretty dangerous.
I see you don't have a city administrator report, but I'm gonna add this to the next session. I just want to give you a time to think about it. You need to think about when these utility companies are in the city doing work and not notifying us. So let's put that on the agenda.
Already talked to them. Already told them. I won't get into the
Yeah,
discussion I had
we'll put
with
it
one
on
of
the
them.
agenda.
Yeah,
So I just want to give you
it
time
wasn't a
to
good
do some
discussion I
research
had
and
with
think
them.
about it.
Oh well. So I've been making them open the road up too because they can't be closing the road down like that. So,
It's deeper than that for our sake.
oh yeah, I know.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Moving forward to the mayor's report, I have just a couple of things, real short. The first thing is, like Councilwoman Howard was stating about Christmas tree lighting. So last year when we had the Christmas tree lighting, of course, we had the Real Black Santa there, and he wanted me to go ahead and give him, the date for 2023. And the date that I gave him was November the 26th. But I wanted to find out from council because Thanksgiving is a Thursday, the 23rd.
Oh, yeah.
And the 26th is a Sunday. And we normally have, city council, our Christmas tree lighting on Sundays around 6, close to, the time that, it kind of gets dark because we try to get out of there within an hour or so. So he's excited about coming back. And we did reach out to him last minute, last year, but he didn't want that to happen because he actually was booked when we needed him and someone canceled. So this year I just wanted to make sure, council, did you all want to move forward again with Santa? And he does have a price that he charges, and it's $300 an hour. But of course, he didn't charge us that much last year, but he said whatever the budget is, he's willing to work, with us because he was, doing things for us, but during our previous administration with Mayor Jackson. So he, he's very familiar with Lithonia. So it seems like he likes to come back. So I just wanted to know your thoughts before we start, locking things in for that date and make sure that date, is something that you all want to, to do.
Did you say November the 26th?
It's a Sunday.
And what was the hour?
It seems like it's normally from either 5 to 7 or 6 to 7. We normally do it when it gets close to dark because we only be out there maybe an hour, 30 minutes the most.
So we did an hour and a half. That's 3. How much is that? $450?
Well, he doesn't have to be there for the whole hour and a half.
Just come for an
Oh,
hour.
Just an hour.
Right.
But
Okay.
we can
do
do
him an hour.
Yeah.
hot cocoa and all that stuff. We can be out there.
Take pictures with the kids.
Yeah,
and
that
stuff.
makes sense.
I think it's a good idea. And I actually think November the 26th is good because, like I say, historically, we always do it right behind Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good.
Ladies.
Got a consensus?
Okay. So should we do 6 to 7? What you all think?
I think that's,
Yeah, I think
it's dark, right? Yeah.
Yes,
It's
getting
7
dark
o'clock now.
It's 7 o'clock.
7.
Okay.
So will we light it up now? Because that's what you're saying, 6 to 7 or 7 to 8.
7 to 8. Because it's just now going down.
Yeah.
7 to 8.
Think 7 to 8. Okay. Wait a minute. When does
It might be getting darker too.
the time change? Is it
I don't know. That's a good
It's
question.
It's gonna fall back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It might be
That's in
dark at
November,
that
right?
time.
When does time
Yeah.
Yeah,
fall
like the
back?
time change? I can't
So
remember when the
it
time
probably
change.
will be,
It'll be all
I mean,
right.
yeah.
At 6.
It gets dark at 6.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know when the time fall back.
Okay, so do you think we'll be okay from 6 to 7?
Yeah.
November
Okay.
5th is when the time changes. It'll get darker.
Yeah,
So
we'll
instead
be
of
okay.
7, it'll be 6.
Okay.
So 6 to
All
7.
6 to 7.
All right, so I'm gonna lock him in for an hour. And is it okay to do just a flat 300 or we need something else?
If you can negotiate, that would be wonderful.
It's always good.
Okay.
Always good to negotiate.
Actually, we split it with the Christmas parade.
You're gonna be Mrs. Claus again.
You know what? I was thinking I can do that again, but you know what would be cute?
Mm.
If we could have like us, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if we can do a float, but if we can do like me, don't laugh. Me, Miss Claus, Daryl, Santa Claus, and then the council, you know.
You can be the elf.
Yeah, we'll be elves.
What about Chief? Chief could
I
be the
think
same.
that'll be cute. So all of us can be together.
I play Santa Claus
Oh,
all
he
my
could be
life.
he could be
Pretty
elves and
much.
let Chief be the
Santa.
Santa. And
Oh yeah, that could work too.
yeah,
Yeah,
either.
But she's probably gonna be.
He
all
got
over
the suit.
place.
No, he
Trying
said he
to
already
arrange
got the
stuff.
suit.
We're gonna let Chief be Santa.
She's gonna be the runaway Santa.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Time
yeah,
to-
Well, he
all
could be
over.
that. Too.
You didn't
Okay,
talk too
all
much,
right.
man.
We'll
man, we can get in trouble.
yeah
Oh, sorry.
wrap that up.
All right, so Christmas tree lighting, we good with 6 to 7
Yeah,
Yes.
on the 26th.
on the 26th, and then I'll speak with the Real Black Center on tomorrow. I got to call him by 1 o'clock. All right, and then my other thing is reached out. I didn't reach out. I'm sorry. The commissioner's office reached out to me today. They're getting ready to plan. They'll let me know when they're gonna have a meeting, probably over the phone, to get a date scheduled for the ribbon cutting of the basketball court on Blue Street. That's almost done, pretty much. So I'll let you guys know when that comes, so all of us can be in attendance for that. And then let me see what else I had. Nothing pending. Let's see, looking at my notes. And I think that's about it. But one more thing I want to tell you guys, I'm cancer free.
All right.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I found that out a couple of weeks ago, but it's in stone today. And the reason why it's in stone today is because I had surgery, Tuesday. So, they did the double mastectomy. It was successful.
Good.
And they found, 3 lymph nodes and removed those. So I'm looking good. I'll have reconstruction soon, hopefully before Christmas.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
just keep me in prayer for that I can just get through that part of it. So
Yeah.
I'm almost done.
Good.
All right now.
That's what I want to tell you. So those are the things I had to announce.
Sounds
Yay.
good, man. Hallelujah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your prayers and your concerns and let me know what I can eat, what not eat. Councilwoman Inman, thank you so much. And that's about it.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, quick question.
Mhm.
Did we ever decide on like decorations for Christmas with that company we saw at GMA in Savannah?
That's right.
You know what? We
You know
did
what
it.
it is.
That's
Oh,
still up
oh,
in the air. So that
Oh.
Christmas tree lighting, that's still, a part of the discussion. I want to answer that real quick. We still on the agenda. So, those things that we saw at GMA, did you all want us to reach out to them this year or wait till next year?
Do we have enough
Because it
lighting for
might
this
be a little
year?
bit out of our
Yeah, I
budget
don't
right
think we
now.
can do it ourselves. Well, not do it ourselves,
What
but
purchase?
Mhm.
Did we get new lights? Because we were talking about the old lights
we
and
should.
I know.
so
We can lease it too.
Officer Warren, if there's some extra
It's an
Christmas tree
investment, just
lighting.
like the popcorn machine. It's an investment. We're gonna have them because those lights have lasted many, many years.
Many years.
And those
Yeah.
posts
I was
on the
looking.
pole.
Look at this year, you definitely can do next.
because we were
Okay.
going to use
Okay.
those lights for going down maybe
Yeah.
Bruce Street and Kanye Street, Swift.
Speaking of that, how we looking on our banners, our historic Blue Street banners?
I have to, she can't send me a actual model. They don't have
Well,
like
she
just
send
the
you a
one.
digital that we can.
A
look
digital,
at.
yeah, we can get that from William to put on the back, like to make the back of it yellow. I think that's what we're talking about, but
The back,
I can feel her eyes
Oh,
burning in the
sorry.
back of my head right now.
the front,
Okay.
and the back.
That's
The
enough.
whole
Well, I
thing.
mean,
we
the back.
Seems like we paid it
Oh,
for,
got you.
for those banners, right? Seems like a-
Yeah, we paid those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to pay for those.
Even if they wasn't satisfactory.
But that's our fault. Cause y'all remember we
Yeah, we
saw
did.
it and we
Yeah.
approved it, so that's kind of on this. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, ma'am.
But good customer service.
Okay, well, we'll work it out. So council, pretty much for the, GMA lights that we saw, we'll wait for next year, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna have to purchase some anyway,
Yeah, we
So,
can purchase
Yeah,
some.
that's a whole decorating thing. They
Yeah,
stuff
that's
together
that's gonna
for
be a lot of
something we might need to look at.
Yeah, I got the book. It's pricey.
It's so
I got-
pretty,
I bring the books, yeah.
And like you
Pretty.
said, we're gonna have it forever, pretty much, anyway.
So,
Can we
so
budget for it
whoever.
next?
Yeah, we could, it's
If
kind of
we
last
do
minute, we can do
October
it.
Trunk or treat, we doing trunk or treat, looking at different things. Let's look at, Christmas stuff, cause that stuff is out now. Should be anyway. And it might be something we can just add to what we already have. I mean, if y'all wanna do it that way,
Okay,
just for this year though, not next year. Next year we'll go all out, but this year I'm just saying, just so it'll look different.
okay, we pushed to, move it along.
Yeah. So whoever's doing, October, Councilman Honore, since you've been looking at, different things for Halloween, can you, also look at Christmas tree, not Christmas tree, but lighting? How they do it for the yards and all that kind of stuff.
What
They
did-
have,
Yeah, I'm looking to see when they start putting, should be.
yeah, they normally put it out right before Halloween.
Man, what did we decide about the tree? I know we've had some feedback about just having the lights for the tree. We're gonna have that
The
again.
tree, yeah, so I thought we're still gonna use the tree that we already have in the gazebo, but I thought next year we wanted to go all out and get the gigantic tree, that tall one.
Yeah,
And that was one of the things that GMA had as well with one of their vendors. That was the main thing that we wanted to purchase that I remember.
right, because of the lighting. So we have a tree out there. I didn't look. We got a big tree.
It's actually, it goes in the gazebo and it's the same size as the gazebo. Unless you all want to buy something, see if we can find something this year that's like really tall.
In the
and
gazebo?
artificial.
Inside?
If you like,
The other one was on the side by the fence and they had the light string.
it's not a wow factor. But I know that it's gonna cost money if we go the GMA route, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Inside.
But maybe honorary, see if you see some tall, gigantic trees as well. And I'll look on my end online just to see, but it needs to be like really big.
We can see, so I think the blow up stuff would be good because we could compress it down and have
A plastic
all that
tree.
storage, I mean, not tree, just the other decoration.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
God.
too, we can't wait till October to talk about this stuff either. So, we need to be talking about this like all year, to be truthful,
right.
just about, because we don't forget. Yeah, so, June, July, we need to start planning for Christmas. Yeah. If we're gonna be like this every year, I can feel it. 'Cause
Wait
I'll
until
forget all
October.
about it.
And then it's Christmas before you know it.
Yeah. We might need to start thinking about April.
All right, so pretty much that's it, right? Council, we're on the same page?
Yes.
All righty, we're gonna move forward to council member updates, starting with Councilwoman Howard.
I don't have anything.
Okay, Councilman Honoré.
Let's see, I'll give some information on LDDA. They're still looking into, well, they always have questions with me about, of course, the parking lot. So we trying to, I talked to Chief, try to get that together and see what's, the hold up. I think we've been ready for a year, so we definitely need to.
What are they needing from, about the parking lot? Why is it a concern?
Just asking what's the progress.
Update.
Yeah, Harry called me, not this past Friday, Friday before. He said we should have final plans, but he's actually in India. So, because we try to call him all week about some other stuff, so, as soon as he gets back, when did he say? Sometime this week. So, he said we should have final plans. They looked at the pipe that was under there. We should have a hydrology study and all that.
In that point, when he get back.
You saying the study has been done?
And that's about it, and definitely we need to start addressing the stuff that's already in Lithonia, the murals and all the things that's already painted nice, and we have like weeds growing all on top of it. The depot over there, if we don't, can't get in contact with the owner, he has a facial board falling down, but it's a nice painting on the outside. So, if we could just pretty up that kind of stuff that's already here and then work on some new things, that might, spruce up the city some more.
Sonic Lodge has some growth growing on it as well.
Yeah, the tree.
It's come
We need to
back.
cut it down. That's it, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Moving over to Councilwoman Shepherd.
One thing I just wanted us to kind of brainstorm and start thinking now, just brainstorm a name for our upcoming resource center. So just something we can just brainstorm and put our heads together when we get to that part.
It's not for the life, right?
Not really location, just the center itself. You know what I'm saying?
Honorary
What are we gonna
something.
call it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Can't think of it.
So it's okay.
When do you anticipate we'll start brainstorming?
I'm
Bring it.
hoping we can start brainstorming now, so the next work session we have, we can start trying to put some ideas of what we came up with on paper.
Okay, so
And
we'll put-
hopefully Chief will have an update for us next work session of where we are with that grant and next step. So, you know,
So can we put it on the agenda for the name as well as location if we decide, whoever decides, if we decide we want to, either the old city hall or the Masonic Lodge?
I thought we already addressed that.
It was already voted on.
We already voted on that. The old city hall is the temporary location.
Let's get a name for that one too.
Well, same thing. That's just a temporary
Oh,
location.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
And so
Sorry
we
about
can decide.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need to decide, even if it's temporary. I don't know, up for discussion.
I think we've already decided that was the location, right?
Well, we just said temporary location, but it could be a location, but I would think we'll have a lot more room in the other location. I don't know, maybe
Agreed.
not.
That's why we called it temporary, so that we can, once we start figuring out in terms of funds and how we're gonna pay for another location, we just call it a temporary location, because we ain't got to that. We haven't gotten that far yet. So just want everybody to kind of brainstorm a name for this wonderful resource center we're ready to enjoy.
Yeah, because the old city hall is really turnkey. We don't have to do a lot.
Yeah.
Once that grant comes in, we need to be moving.
Well, we won't
And,
have to do a lot if we're
But
not
if we
talking
don't,
about
we go to the Masonic building, we're gonna delay.
delay, but are we gonna look
Yeah.
at doing something upstairs? Because we have a lot of boxes still, paperwork files, and I think we have some other
We are,
water stuff that needed to be.
we're gonna bite it off in chunks. So
Okay.
yeah, we definitely have to do stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So we need to think about what we're gonna name it. So I'm ready to hear those names next meeting. All right. Moving forward to Councilwoman Emmett.
Yes, so Mr. Javon Green of Green Love, kindly stated last time we met that he was interested in helping out for the, trunk or treat, right? And, if you want to say anything, or if you have an idea of what you would like to do for that day, please let us know, since we're planning, or we just talked about planning earlier.
Okay, I mean, it's just a matter of, is there like a different specific date?
Yeah,
31st.
Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta ask you.
well, no, you give my permission, because it's my
Oh,
turn.
is it no more?
Yeah, you
So
good.
are we doing any like planning meetings, or is any, because I know there was a day you actually went in there and.
I think you had just stepped out, but we decided on October 31st. That's a Tuesday. From 6 to 8 p.m.
No, I heard that, but I thought you went in there like a week prior or something like that to dress it up.
Oh, you're talking about in the old city hall? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you support in that aspect, we plan on opening up the restaurant later. I want to do something like Green Love After Dark kind of a thing. So it'll be like an after party, like
Okay.
the children go home and do something like that.
Okay.
We will have treats as well. But yeah, just my employees, they're really excited to be a part of the Halloween festivities.
Okay.
So
Well, I have your
you guys are
number.
doing something.
Yeah. So usually Mr. Munson has a key. So maybe we can get together along with, whomever wants to decorate, and we can just go in and make it look really cool.
Sounds good. And as well as like even like that part of Main Street, I wanted to invest in pumpkins and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Dress up the area. Hey,
That'd be nice. Thank you.
yeah. Whenever you ready, you have one of me.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's all from the mayor.
Okay. Thank you so much, Javon. We're gonna move forward to Councilwoman
No, I don't have anything.
Vanilla.
I don't
You
have
don't?
anything, Mayor. No.
Okay, all right, awesome. All right, council, we do have a need for executive session. It won't take us long. But I do, need to go into a, executive session meeting with you.
I gotta use it.
And it will be for personnel.
We're gonna take a
We're
station
gonna make a motion, somebody else.
identification.
We don't need her, we got to. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session.
I said.
let me know when you all are ready. 'Cause it's 8 o'clock. Gotta get you out there.
I know.
1 second, they gotta get recorded. All
Okay.
right, we're ready, ma'am.
All right, we are back into our normal city council meeting. It is still October 2nd, 2023, 8 o'clock p.m. At this time, council, I would like for you all to go ahead and make a motion. We did need to take action on the findings that we had regarding personnel with our city clerk, Ms. Robin Blunt. And whenever someone wants to make a motion, you can.
That's what I said.
I'd like to make a motion to terminate our city clerk, Ms. Robin Blunt, and replace. Do we say
The two separate ones.
that's
You said appoint.
fully appoint
No, it's
Ashley
reverse.
Waters as our city clerk. Do I have to do it in two separate ones, Mayor?
No, you can put it all in one motion, it's fine.
And appoint our current assistant clerk, Ashley Waters, to our clerk.
Second.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you so much, council. At this time, we would like to go ahead and get a motion for adjournment.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
I motion to adjourn.
I
Is there a second?
A
Thank
second.
you. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you all have a great night and have a great rest of the week.
You too, ma'am.
Thank you,
You too.
Mary.
All right.
You too, man.
All right, you're
I'm
welcome.
gonna have DJ bring you your gift. on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're so happy for your good news.
We off camera? Are we off?